Coming to you live from the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live on the Fight Mixer Show.
Perfect.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fight Mixer. Happy Thursday, everybody. We are here with UFC fighter, the man himself, Mike Rodriguez. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, man?
What's going on? So, we'll cut right to the chase. Last fight, it didn't go the way you planned. A lot of circumstances happened within the fight. Can you just run it back and tell us what your thoughts are post-fight and what exactly happened up there?
Everything was going in my favor, despite the ending. It was. I thought the game plan executed to the highest T. But unfortunately, live by the sword, die by the sword. I tried to go in for the finish, got caught with a Kimura. But yeah, I was psyched about my performance.
Yeah, you were beating his ass.
Yeah, you were fucking mark something fierce. I mean, you were literally laying on him thick, and the grind shot happened, and you just take us to that point. The grind shot happened. Obviously, it was very controversial for a lot of reasons. You were winning the entire fight. I mean, can you just take us through that moment and what your thoughts are?
So up until the groin shot, I was like, all right. So going into the whole fight, the whole game plan was to attack Ed's body as much as possible because we all know he's super durable. So we're like, let's just stay away from his head, but his belly's really soft. So I went out there, just started pouring on his body. Then in the second round, which I predicted, I figured, I'm like, I'm going to finish him in the second round, hit him in the body with that left knee in the body. And the ref calls time. Now, I was saying time. The round was over, but I'm like, nah, the round can't be over. That's why my reaction was like, time? What? Because I was curious. I was confused. I'm like, the round can't be over. Like, nah. And then so he pulled it, and then, groin shot. I look at the replay in the middle of the fight, and I just was like, you know what? He made a mistake. It's whatever. Let's just run it. I even heard Bisping was behind me, and even his corner, they were like, everybody knew that it wasn't a groin shot, but I'm like, whatever, let's just run it. So I just kept my composure and just continue on with the fight. But afterwards, I'm like, kind of sucks. But what could you do?
Yeah, man. So what's next? Like, has Dana White talked to you about that? Has anybody, said anything like in the UFC brass? Everyone saw the fight. Obviously, everyone knows what happened. And you're a talented guy. You have a great career. That doesn't define you. One moment, one fight doesn't define you. But what's next for you? Did they lay out your game plan or your road back to the cage?
So after the fight was over, I was sitting in the doctor's office, and literally I'm sitting here like this. Doc checking my arm out. I'm just sitting here. And as soon as I look to my right, I look up. Dana was there, super red and super pissed. And he was like, this is bullshit. This is the most crazy shit I've ever seen. The worst referee ever. He's like, you fucking won that fight single-handedly. So I said, all right. Before I even walked down the hallway, as soon as I was packing myself up, get on a bus, go back to the hotel. Before I go down the hallway, he tells Joe Lozon, my coach. He tells Joe, he's like, don't worry, I'm going to take care of Mike. I'm giving him his win bonus because he won that fight. And so then, my manager spoke, I guess, to Mick and all of them, to Mick and Dana and them. And they said to them, I'm still going to be considered on a 2-fight win streak. I still get matched up against somebody else who is coming up as well on a streak. And we're just going to move on forward as if it's a win. So unfortunately on my record, and according to the commission, it's a loss. But UFC counts it as a win, so we're just gonna keep going, moving on.
Well, I was going to ask that did they compensate you? And I mean, you already answered the question for me. So at the very minimum, I mean, now don't get me wrong, nobody wants that loss on the record. Nobody wants to have a blemish for something that we didn't genuinely lose from. But at least you got paid. And now let's be honest, as fighters, the money is a big part of it, right?
Absolutely.
Now,
Go ahead.
So now, but the way your contract is set up, you're going to get paid the same amount for your next fight as you did for that fight, correct?
That I'm not sure about. I don't know if I'm gonna get, like after you win, when you go to the next fight, you usually get like a little bump up. So I don't know if I'm gonna get that bump up. That's the thing. What I'm so confused about. But either way, I'm just happy that my career can still progress in a positive manner. Like they don't say that as a loss. I'm like, hey, they're my bosses, so it is what it is. So we're gonna go like that.
And we were talking about how they have made a rule change now from this incident.
Yep. They supposed to be. You got. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, yeah, they're supposed to be. But that's the thing. They're supposed to be using a replay, but I don't know if that's what we talk about. Practice shows like I don't know who calls the replay. Is it the ref or is it a new person that's filling into replay shoes to call the replay? Like I don't know whose call is that going to be. But yeah, the replay needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Right. And is there anyone in the division that you point out
that's important?
I'm sorry.
Go for it. You got it, Dave.
Oh no, you get it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been hogging the conversation. There's so many questions I want to ask you, but like Gabe, you can take it. I'm sorry, man.
I was going to say that hopefully there will be they will implement something, because this happens enough. And listen, we have some exceptional referees that make mistakes, and then I don't know who this guy is. Like no one I've ever heard of, and I've been in the MMA business for a long time. I've never heard of the guy. Not saying that he's not credentialed, he's not good, but if the top tier guy, Herb Dean, and even John McCarthy have made errors, I think it's an important thing to have as a secondary in case this happens again, and it will absolutely happen again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think it'll help. If anything, it'll just help the sport grow even more. The fact that we have this replay, so that's gonna be awesome. But I've only seen it implemented once since then, and it was implemented by that ref. The following card after my card was 12, UFC Vegas 12, and he had used the replay for fight ending sequence.
Yeah, I did see that.
I have not seen it. Yeah.
Now, obviously, coming off of that, you need a big opponent to come back to, and if you could point out anybody in the division, who would you want to fight? Just from your perspective, looking at the entire division, obviously you're a monster. You're going to be a problem for anybody to fight. But like, who would you point out and say that's the guy I want to fight to come back?
The one person I do want to fight is Shogun. Why is that? It's because he's an idol of mine. If it was for him, I would be in the sport. And I saw his last fight against Little Nog. He was saying, like, hinting around like retiring after his next two fights. So I just really hope I'm one of those two fights. Granted, I think he's like on a little streak as well. But I would like to fight him before he leaves. Even if I can't fight him, I'll train with him. But yeah.
I mean, from a nerd standpoint, I would love you to fight Shogun. I mean, I remember him in Pride. One of my favorite fights of all time was him in the Grand Prix when he fought Little Nog. It's one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my entire life. Have you guys ever seen that fight?
Yeah, that's the fight that got me into the sport.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking love that fight. That was the very first MMA fight I've ever seen. Very first.
Gabe, did you see those like leaping? He didn't just go into the guard. He leaped it with those big fucking punches, like classic shoot box. Fucking nuts!
Yeah.
Like it's great.
Such a good fight.
The Shogun at that time frame was an absolute beast. And I'm not taking anything away from him, but like with all fighters, the older we get, the less ability we have. But he did not give two shit. He went in there in a kill. I think what he fought was a Rampage. He just was it. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I think he fought Rampage.
Crushed Rampage. Yeah.
It was just like yo, shouldn't have even been in the fight. Like it was, yeah, different level.
Yeah.
But that was post when Rampage fought Vanderlei Silva, and Vanderlei Silva fucked him up fierce, and like that's when Rampage was like, you know, he was finding God again, and he grew out his hair, and like he had the crosses. It was no longer crazy Rampage. You know, he was a different cat. Like he had to go back in the form and, you know, find the glow again after he fought Vanderlei Silva, and then he fought, you know, getting matched up against first Murilo Rua, which Murilo Rua is the older brother of Shogun. And he's bombs too. And he didn't really necessarily win that fight. He just skid by the skin of his teeth. And then fighting Shogun, and this is when Shogun was on a fucking tear. If I can book and mind trip all you guys, Shogun was considered the Ivan Drago of Pride at that point. He was the next big thing. And Shogun fucked him up really bad.
Yeah, he was cold, man. During that time, holy shit, he was ridiculous. But yeah, that was the very first fight I ever saw.
Wow. If you could have it any different way, would you fight in Pride? Like if you fought back in your generation? Yeah?
Hell yeah. Dude, it's so sick. I think the rule set's so dope. Hell yeah, I would definitely got in there. Yeah, run it.
I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of events. I went to a Pride event in Japan, and I had 2 Pride events they had here in the States. It felt special. Like every UFC feels good. Like, I mean, you go to the big arena. I fought Joe in Boston at the Garden. That felt like shit. But the Pride event feels special. They feel like a very special event. It's amazing. And it was nothing. Yeah. I've been to a lot of MMA events, but the Pride events it felt like it had this aura about it. It's unfortunate that it's not there anymore. It's gone.
Bummer. Yeah.
But Mike, when you say, because you do feel, you know, that being in that arena with the crowd all vibrant and they're yelling your name, they're screaming your name, that energy, you know, it fuels people. Like when you fought in Pride, you can hear, you know, a little Japanese guy fart in the third row, and like, you know, it was quiet. It was so real seeing a Pride event. They were like processing everything. I mean, wouldn't it be like would you want to fight that in front of that crowd that's completely quiet, that's not screaming your name and like fueling you and like, you know, that raw emotion? Like I think it would be like 2 different worlds compared to the UFC now, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that, but I honestly, like, at this level, I'm actually surprised that a lot of guys, that the crowds have so much influence on the guys. Because it's at this level, it's like we're pros. We just got to perform. Like, fuck the crowd. We just got to perform, you know? But like, you even see it now during this whole COVID thing. There's some guys that are night and day from with the crowd and not the crowd. You see them perform with the crowd, with no crowd, and they're just like stuck in mud. Versus you seen them like last year or something when there was a crowd and they were cold. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think it's just personal. It's just personal preference, or just how the people are. But the crowd never bothered me. I don't give a shit what they do. They could be killing each other. I'll still be ready to fight.
Gabe, you want to add something? I saw Gabe waiting to ask something.
I was going to ask. I'm curious because it could be the other way as well. Are there some fighters that perform better in a closed circuit, no crowd arena? I'll tell you, like a perfect example is I fought in Boston, right? Yeah. And everyone was like, I heard everyone saying they want to kill my mother and that I was a piece of shit and like that's dropping F-bombs and like I gotta tell you, like it definitely added to the already. It was just it added a piece to it that like I would have preferred it to be quiet.
Yeah, but even when I fought Ed in the interview, he had said the same thing. First thing he said, it's fucking weird fighting without a crowd, and it's like you got to be able to. Most guys just be able to turn off. In the Contender Series, no crowd, So, and you see those guys, it's like 80% finish rate. They don't give a shit. They're just trying to fight, and that's how it should be.
I mean, I feel like that's what you're there for, right? You're there to fight.
Absolutely.
Shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if there's 5 people or 50, 100, 50,000 people. Shouldn't matter either way. But I mean, it definitely plays in. It definitely plays in.
It does. It does. It definitely does.
Did we lose Dave?
Yeah, we lost somebody. I was just about to say, where did he go?
Dave's gone.
We don't need Dave.
Dave. See you, Dave.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll be back.
So how long have you been training with Joe?
I've been with Joe since 2014, I think. Yeah, 2014. So yeah, full time with him. So when I was an amateur, back when I was an amateur, I used to be at Trifecta, which is a gym in Quincy, Mass. And I used to always just cross train with Joe. And then I moved to Arizona for a little bit. And we ended up having my son. So we had to come back home. So we came back home. And when we came back home, I just started with Joe full time. And that was 2014, 2015. And from there, I've been with him.
Nice. How's that experience? Is there a lot of pros on the level for you, or?
Yeah, so the thing about Joe's is that it's like, so a lot of New England altogether decide to stop pretty much fighting each other and just come together as one big unity. So you're getting the best of all, best of the best in one location, which is at Joe's.
Yeah.
So we all come together and we all put in work, all shapes and sizes, from the heavyweights all the way to the flyweights. We all and the women as well. They have a little group of women that's there as well. So it's you're getting the best of the best, So it's good. Everybody's pushing everybody. We're all grinding for the same goals. It's awesome.
All right. So do you have another fight on the books, or are we just kind of on a holding pattern right now?
No, well, I'm on a holding thing right now. I think because of the whole COVID thing and holidays is coming in. So I'm just like taking it easy. I want to do it Thanksgiving. I do. But if something comes, I'm staying in shape just in case
absolutely.
Something comes up.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm still gym, still grinding, still doing my thing. I got to be at the gym morning. So yeah, I do want to stay ready just in case something happens. But I'm not like actively searching for anything. No, but I will be on call if they need me.
And so and you were saying earlier that the loss hasn't affected your standing with the UFC at all.
No, nope, not at all. Yeah, if anything, they like me more. I've been getting more praises on my last 2 performances than anything. And on top of that, if the boss is praising, you're doing something right.
You were doing great. Do you think they're going to rematch you with Ed, or do you consider that a done deal? You really finished him.
Nah, I'd consider that a done deal. I wouldn't even want to rematch anyways. I just want to go moving on.
I agree.
Yeah, well, nah.
I personally, I would want it back.
You would want it back? Yeah, I've been getting a lot of people like, you gotta run it back. You gotta run it back. I'm like, you know what? I just let it go.
I've had straight losses, and I want to run those back too. Like yours was a travesty. Like you genuinely won the fight. Like if that were the case, I'd be at the guy's house the next day, like knocking on his door. Yo, hey, you got to run it back.
You run it back.
We're doing it right now.
Run it back.
Yeah. So no interest in that at all, huh?
Nah, I would want to see seeing what else is out there. See the other matchups. There's a lot of other matchups that look pretty cool. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's keep going up on the ladder.
That Shogun fight. That Shogun fight. Try to get that in there, huh?
That's the one I want. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
If he give me that one, I'm like, yes. But
hey, hopefully that one works out. I mean, up and comer, and then you have like the old veteran. Those are the type of fights you want. You want your fresh new guys to fight the veteran to one, see where they're at, and then two,
Yep.
they take that space because everyone knows who Shogun is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Whether you're a new fan or an old fan, you're gonna know who he is.
And it's also good to, I think it would be kind of cool, nice feather in the cap to fight against a previous champion. You know what I mean? I think that would be cool too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Without question.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Sick.
So you have a son?
Yeah, I got a son and a daughter. My son is 5 and my daughter's 3.
Okay.
Yeah. They're
Nice.
both a little
Ages.
crazy ages. Yeah.
Is there any
crazy.
fighters you'd like
Right.
to call out as far as anybody you're? I mean, we know who you're really wanting to fight, but is there anybody outside of that you'd be?
Not nobody like coming up on the radar right now. There's so many like good guys in our division. Our division's like it's in a cool place. I think it's a lot better than what it was once before, because I feel like the light heavyweight was like nobody in it and very top heavy. Now there's so many guys now, so many guys. So it's fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of cool fights. It's a lot of cool fights.
A lot of different opportunities. Making it happen.
Yep, exactly.
Did you guys
So
watching
go
the
get
fights
into
last week? Go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. What happened?
We're talking over each other.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead, Gabe.
I was going the family route. And he was going the fighting route.
Gotcha.
I was just gonna say, did anybody watch any of the fights last weekend?
What was last weekend? Was that the what card was last weekend?
I missed.
Was that the
main
Holly
card.
Holm fight?
What's that?
Was that the Holly Holm card?
No, I think that was the week before.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the Holly Holm card. I didn't watch
Oh my God.
last week. Holly Holm just
Where
put
did she
on
come
a
up with
clinic.
the energy, man?
Bro, she just was, oh my gosh.
I mean, just that circling, like, it just the whole
Yeah, she
match.
just kept, it just kept going to
It
work.
was a clinic. She just picked her apart. Like,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
I'm trying to think what was last week. Besides the kick. We've seen the kick, but who's the main event?
I can't. I missed the last 2 fights.
Right. That's right. The kick. I forgot about the
The kick.
I saw that
was
everywhere.
the biggest
I saw that
highlight.
everywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, I saw that everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
The T-City-
I mean,
That kick.
that's
was
impressive
insane.
though. Like when you're, I think it was an undercard fight too, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
When you're undercard fight, like that's what everyone's talking about. You had a good one. You had a good one.
Yeah, the good one.
That's
Literally,
yeah, I don't-
everywhere.
Yeah, like-
Couldn't
Oh, you know what? It was Sandhagen versus somebody.
yes, Marias, Marlon Marias.
Because then he did a kick, which was like that one was a highlight, but he'd already been like it already been taken. It already been taken. Like
Yeah, it
the
already
fire had
been
been taken
taken.
off the main event already.
Yeah.
But
Like, he tried to come out
wasn't
and
the
like
kick,
it was.
though.
The wheel kick was beautiful. It was beautiful, but like to have it, that's like you go to a concert and the opening band just kills it, and you're the headline. Yo, I can't beat that. They just blew this out of the water.
Yeah, you're like, you might as well just go home now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
No, but it was a good performance by Sandhagen too.
Yeah.
It seemed like every fight in there was like a first round fight. Everybody got finished and their ass beat the first round.
Yeah, the card was definitely good. This
That was
weekend,
a
who we got this weekend? T City and Korean Zombie, right?
I couldn't tell you who's fighting this
Yep.
weekend.
Who do you got in that one?
I'm gonna go with Korean Zombie, dude. That his straight,
Yeah, me too.
is one of the best in the game, dude. Yo, he throws that straight so clean. Bam! It's just so fast. Oh man.
He really uses his length well.
Yep.
He uses his length really well, and he's not a slouch on the ground either, which is like that's what Ortega excels at. But I'm going Korean Zombie as well.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get it done. Korean Zombie's just that dude's cold, man.
All right, here's the big one though: Gaethje versus Khabib.
I'm going Gaethje. I like Gaethje. I think Gaethje has. Yeah, I think he just has so much more tools. Khabib, I mean, Khabib got that wrestling, which is tier 0. I mean, that he made his whole career off it. We seen anybody he grabs. You get grabbed by that man, he's pulling you down. And the thing about Gaethje don't care, and he don't respect anybody. Like, he's just trying to beef. So it's like, and we know he got good takedown defense. So it's like, yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna go with Gaethje. It's funny, dude. I got to give a shout out to Gaethje. I'm not gonna lie. So for a while, I'm like, this Gaethje dude, he's whatever. He's just all tough. But like, I actually went and watched, like, went down a rabbit hole and watched like even his World Series of Fighting fights, his UFC fights, and everything. And the way he puts things together to land those leg kicks is so good, dude. He puts them perfectly together. He sets them up so good. He sets them up so good. And the fact that he can set them up good like that, and then on top of that, he's so insanely tough, he can just take and walk through anything. That's a deadly combination. That's a deadly person to fight. It's a deadly person to fight. So it's like, it's going to be a dope fight. Yeah.
That's a good fight. I'm actually really looking at that. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fight enthusiast anymore. I mean, I still follow it, but like, as far as like getting excited about a fight, like, if I know someone, then I get kind of excited. But outside that, I'm like, okay, that's the fight I want to see.
Yeah, I'm just as I'm a competitor, I'm just as a fan. I love watching the fights. I love, like, even some guys, like, I don't even know. I'll go and like watch like old footage of them, just like, let me see how they are, and like just pick up like on their habits and on their patterns, things of that nature. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. To actually appreciate them. I don't know. It's just the geek in me that do shit like that.
True student of the game.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good. Good.
Yep.
Matt, do you have something to say?
Sorry about that. Got some technical difficulties going on in the background. No, I was going to say, we don't want to take up all your time. I really appreciate you coming on. Do you have anybody you want to give shout-outs to, or fans and sponsors?
Want to give a shout-out to all the fan and love and support that I've been having throughout this whole journey. You guys have been nothing but great and awesome. And if it was for you guys, I wouldn't be here. Also, give a shout-out to you guys for interviewing me. Thank you. Put me on your platform.
We'd love to have you on anytime, man.
Also, I want to give a huge shout-out to Kill Cliff, sponsor of mine, and Modest Needs, another sponsor of mine. It's a charity organization that helps out less fortunate families who can't get by on making ends meet. In fact, they're actually doing this. Huh?
What was the name of that and the website?
Oh, Modest Needs. ModestNeeds.com. It's a charity organization. But yeah, they look out for people who have trouble making ends meet, families that have trouble making ends meet. But now they're in trouble due to the whole corona because they're not able to work as much to help others. So people are actually helping them, the staff and employees. So
gotta give it back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to the Rainbow Six community. That's always showing me love and support. And yeah, you can follow me at Emerald MMA on Twitch, Twitter, and on Instagram. And yeah, pretty much it.
All right, man.
Well,
good talking to you.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
All right, we'll hit you up again.
All right, my man. Have a good day. All right.
All right, man.
Later.
Take care, guys. Later.
Take care. Getting
All
the
right.
snow background. You like that?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
It's snowing here in California like it normally does.
Yeah. I do not know what happened to David.
He had to go. Hey, when a man's got to go, a man's got to go.
Yeah, I guess he had some serious issue or something that popped up. So
Probably had to go poop.
I didn't want to say that live, but I hope not because
Hey,
he's been gone
you
for
got to
about
go.
Yeah, he's been gone for about 10 minutes. So let's hope it wasn't that. But Don is supposed to be coming on, but
Okay.
I'm thinking he might be having some issues himself.
Well, Mike Rodriguez seemed like a solid cat. I didn't realize he trained with Joe Lazon, but I know about his last performance. I'm glad that he got paid. Very, very important in this in the fight game that you make that money. Number one priority for all of us.
Yeah, that's a great thing that they actually paid him for that. Because
very, very good. I mean, they do things like that on occasion, and I give them respect for that. Like they really will, go out of their way to help.
What it means is that instead of paying 12% out to all the fighters, they probably bumped it up to 13 with that rule.
I still have my feelings about the pay overall, but regardless of that, it's nice to know that they do things like that. They genuinely take care of those.
Yeah. I mean, did you watch that fight or did you miss that one or
which one?
Mike Rodriguez fight?
You know what? I saw the highlights of it. I saw the knee, which was obviously to the midsection. Even when it landed like the first time, obviously I knew what it was coming, but even watching it was obvious that it was not to the groin. It was obvious.
Oh yeah,
midsection knee. And then the Kimura was the actually I thought was kind of a crazy setup. I think Mike was mounted, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and got rolled from there. Which goes to Ed's durability. But either way, man, like the fight was over. It should have been over.
Totally, and that's what I was saying. Like when they to me, like when they like that kick happened, there should be somebody that instantly is reviewing it and going, nope, roll, because they're pausing the fight. So why not have somebody that reviews it right then and gives an actual decision on all those, in my opinion.
Well,
but I'm not a fighter either, so
Well, like I talked to Mike about, when I talked to Mike about it, I think a referee's job is thankless, and it's very, very difficult to make split-second decisions and be right every single time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not taking anything away from the ref. I'm not taking anything away from the ref because all you can do is what you can do. You can see what you can see.
Well, it sounds like this guy is making mistakes over and over again. So maybe we should look at what his background is. We should look at his credentials. I personally feel that the referees should all be pro fighters or former fighters. I think that would be a very, very good way of there's no one that you're going to say that knows fighting more than someone that's been in there and understands the mental side of it, the fighter side of it, everything about it. I think that former fighters would make the best referees. I mean, actually, Herb Dean has fought, I think, 5 or 6 times, and I think that gives him an extreme advantage because of that experience of being in the ring and understanding all the facets, not just from the official side, but from the fighter side as well.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think definitely having fighters as the it's just going to bring a whole nother perspective to it.
Well, but even that being said, there should be when there is a call where a corner in particular should be able to call it and say, listen, almost like football, like they have the foul replay,
Right.
where if it's blatant and more than one person says it, it should be ran back.
Right. Well, I mean, like, to me, it's like one of those things where why can't there be a couple of refs on the sides that are just watching the replays? That's what they do. And if there was any question, they just you pause the whole fight. They should already have a pretty much an idea whether that really happened or not. And then one's watching this camera angle, one's watching this camera angle, and they go nope, and immediately it's turned back. They go back up. Fight goes.
I know it's a little difficult because there aren't things. I mean, there are timeouts in MMA and things like that. The outcome can be called into play, but I think it wouldn't be a bad thing just across the board. You know what I mean? Like people really watching and ensuring that everything is happening the way it's supposed to unfold.
Right. It is what it is. Like, it's a sport. Things are always going to get miscalled, and I know like you're saying, that ref, has had other problems. As far as what Mike was saying. So
I don't know who he is. I have no idea who he is. Personally, I'm not going to say who the referee is, and until this day, he still says it didn't happen, but it fucking happened. He was refereeing a WEC match, and it was an undercard fight, and the guy got dropped, and he gave him a 10 count. 1, 2, and this particular referee came from the California State Athletic Commission, and he had been a kickboxing ref. The guy got dropped, and he gives him a standing count. Unbelievable. Right. Another time, same referee, and he will to this day, every time I have a great relationship with him. I have no problem ribbing people and telling them how I feel. This particular ref, I like him as a man. He's an exceptional man, and he's overall a good ref, but you make mistakes. Right. I was at a fight where a guy was mounted triangled, so he has a submission, and he's punching the guy in the face, and this referee stands him up. You're like, what? You're mounted with a triangle, you're submitting the guy and punching him in the face, and you're going to stand him up? Like, get out of here. This is just ridiculous.
He's like, no. I need to see some work.
Yeah, well, but again, so this comes down to even seasoned referees make mistakes.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, I think Don's have some issues getting in, and we've lost our one of our hosts, so I think we may have to wrap this show up.
I'm all right with that.
Wait for Don a little longer. Or?
I've got nothing else to say, man. I'm excited about the Habib Gagey fight.
Oh, me too.
And then who's that really slick Russian boxer who's fighting this weekend? I can't think of his name. I'm excited about this boxing match this weekend, but I can't think of the guy's name. So that's awesome. That shows you how excited I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're so excited it just blew your mind.
Exactly, but yeah, man. I hope we can get Don back on here. I still want to see if I can ask him about that incident at the hotel. See how I want to get his take on it. Listen. I will take the repercussions. I'm okay with that, but I can't imagine him being upset about it. I really can't. Right now, getting sucker punched is getting sucker punched. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, and we can all. I don't think there's anyone that can say that Don Frye is not a tough, bad dude.
Yes, amen.
Like, genuinely, and again, like, dude, he fought in the UFC when the UFC was like a baby. Like people don't understand like the time frame that he was fighting, and he was one of the first guys that knew how to wrestle and box.
Right.
Like, he's a bad dude. but I'm still bringing it up.
Of course, you wouldn't be Gabe if you didn't.
I can't. Yeah, I have to be me. But hopefully next week we can get back to normal, and hopefully Dave's poop turns out okay. Hopefully have Justin back. Wouldn't mind having Justin back. So
I hope everything works out for David.
And hopefully the snowstorm stops here. So that should be
yeah, it looks like a blizzard.
pretty bad. It's rough.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show and hanging in there with us. And until next time, I guess.
Listen, it was good to talk to Mike. He seems like a solid pro with a lot of upside to him, and I wish him success. So things happen, and hopefully we get Don Frye on here to get him to get pissed off at me.
Yes. All right.
All I know, I gotta say, we need to get Tito Ortiz on the show.
Hey, I've been working on it. I mean, I know you want Tito Ortiz. I'd like to have Chuck Liddell. I've messaged him. I've messaged a few people, but I know you want Ortiz. So
I want Ortiz.
If it ever happens, I'm gonna be excited.
Oh gosh, you have no idea.
All right, man.
All right, my friend. Have a good
Let's
night.
wrap the show up, and thank you everybody for watching.
Hope everyone enjoyed it.
Perfect.
Perfect.